Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy a Chocobo bundle? Magic the Gathering's new special gift-ready box crossovers one more time with Final Fantasy, providing Chocobo art lands, a Chocobo booster, which itself has still more lands, and most excitingly, a chance at special borderless cards that may or may not be worth a pretty penny. All of this is included with a fat stack of play boosters, special storage box, and life counter to make this the perfect holiday gift, assuming of course you have the $109.99 that Wizards of the Coast is charging. Which I did have, and I did try to buy, but well, it was sold out everywhere upon release. Or more accurately, it was sold out everywhere for MSRP and only available at outrageous markups topping $200 a box. And thus, as many Magic the Gathering players have said, ain't no way I'm paying that. But I am a review channel, so I did try really hard to get one, and I thought I had, but when it arrived, it turns out I had gotten the Japanese language bundle, and so I threw up my arms and I almost gave up. To quote the professor, this. Actually, maybe don't quote me on that. So, what I decided to do is open up this Japanese language bundle, talk about its contents, how they differ from the English version, tally up the prices, and while doing so without a script, talk about markups, MSRP, and who really is to blame. Spoilers, it's Wizards of the Coast. And yeah, it is going to be a little confusing opening non-English cards, not to mention alternate arts and special promos, but by cataloging them along with my collection, I can see exactly what I have, what decks they go in, and what they are worth. And the best Magic the Gathering card tool for this is Archidekt, sponsor of this video. Many Magic the Gathering players think of Archidekt as a great site for making and sharing deck lists, and it is, but I also encourage people to catalog their collections there. By cataloging your collection on Archidekt, you can look at deck lists to see which cards you already own, or just sort your entire collection by price, letting you see which cards you have that are worth the most. This is great for when old rares or even uncommons shoot up in price. Archidekt is the most intuitive and powerful deck building website on the market, so whenever you open up packs or just buy singles, add them to Archidekt and then see what decks you have. It's easy to sort the decks you build on Archidekt by mana value, card type, category, and so on. As you're tuning your deck, you can use Archidekt's advanced analytics tools to help you decide what cards to keep, what to cut, and what cards you're still testing out. Archidekt can even provide you with card suggestions. It makes it easy to compare two deck lists. If you want the ability to easily upgrade or downgrade the same deck between brackets, Archidekt makes it simple to know which cards come in and which cards come out, so that you can make the swap in just a couple of minutes. Archidekt is a phenomenal service for any Magic the Gathering player, whether you just want a simple catalog of all your Magic the Gathering decks, or you want a more in-depth and powerful deck building experience. Best of all, Archidekt is free. Go to archidekt.com/Tolarian to create your Archidekt account today. And thank you, Archidekt, for sponsoring this video. Alright, many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy a Chocobo bundle? And as I stated, this will be a more informal review of the bundle to allow me to speak freely with you about some thoughts I've been having about availability of premium products, MSRP, the relationship between Wizards of the Coast, local game stores, and us, the player base. But first, let's see what's inside the Chocobo bundle. So normally in the more formal review at this point, we would have opened it up with a Chocobo bundle contains the following: a Birds of Paradise promo card. I believe this is worth about $10. The editor will show the exact price on it. A scene card. I don't know, because it's in Japanese, who this is a scene of or what this is a scene of. Maybe I should have reviewed that before the video. I don't think that could be possibly more than also about $10, if not significantly less. The real item, the real reason why we're buying all of this, the Chocobo bundle. Show what that's going for individually on marketplaces online. It's probably shockingly high. We also get 10 booster packs of Final Fantasy. These are play boosters, not collector boosters. we get a life wheel. I really like the plastic ones. They are not quite as good quality, in my opinion, as older ones from many years back, but I'm glad to see them return, and it's cool to see some color on this. Usually these are just black and gray, and so it's very neat. We've got a little Chocobo and green, yellow, red color scheme, which I find quite bright and cheerful. And of course, the storage box, which also might be more bright and cheerful than you were expecting. I like these storage boxes. I think they're great. They're not as good as the old Deck Builder's Toolkit kinds with the flaps that folded in, which was my preference because then it could never pop open, but they're still a very nice item. All in all, with most of these premium bundles, though it does vary from set to set, if you were to buy all of the contents individually, including things like, in this case, the Birds of Paradise promo card, oh, and of course, the land pack, which we can value that at a couple of dollars as well, you would most likely be able to get MSRP independent of the two lottery cards that you're going for. This was the case with the Avatar bundle. And so basically, you're getting the contents of the bundle and you're going to play the lottery. However, if you pay markups, which this product was incredibly marked up, and you should not pay that because now that it hit shelves just a little bit later, that price is plummeting. Don't pay markups, pay MSRP. Get to a little bit about more of that in a sec. But before we do, let's open this up. So this has got the Chocobo pack contents. The real items are 2 promo cards in here, lottery tickets, like I said. In the Japanese Chocobo bundle, we're looking for the big item is a black Chocobo. It does not contain the golden one, which is only in the English versions, unless I am mistaken on that. However, there are some other items of value. Vivi is still up there despite being banned, and I'd be really happy with that Snapcaster Mage, the artwork of which is just gorgeous. But let's see what we got. And then we can open up some packs and talk. All right. We have here Sexy Individual, who I don't know because I don't know Final Fantasy characters, and this is an alternate art, and I did not review in advance. The value of this, I would say, has got to be like what, a $20 card? I don't know, but you know, they got their shirt open a little bit there. They're looking on. They're inviting you to have a Final Fantasy with them tonight. Very nice. Is that too risque? Am I being too risque? Anyway, I guess $20, but I don't recognize which card this is because I don't recognize the language. And then no Chocobo for us. It's got an ability to spend 1 and tap. You know, I should know this, but I don't. So I'm going to guess $20. And then, of course, we have the lovely Chocobo lands. What price are these? Can you look up specifically, editor? I think these are like at least a couple of bucks each. But you can show it for the total value of that pack. Very lovely art. I'm in general, and this is, of course, a very subjective thing, I don't like these sort of treatments with all the little stamped foiling. They did this with the Phyrexian cards with the Phyrexian symbol. They've done this in other versions, glittery before and such. I'm not a big fan, but of course, there's probably many people out there who love it. Wow, that art in particular, really cool. So the total value here, if we look at the contents of the pack now that it's opened, why don't you go ahead and show that total pack contents number there, editor, and then let us take that total pack contents number and apply it back to the other screen, and we can see that buying things individually in this particular box was worth it to buy, and even at a markup, wow, that's some good value. But in all honesty, my issue with this item was not whether or not it was worth it to buy. I've reviewed many of these gift bundles already. I've shared my thoughts on them specifically, which you can extrapolate to a general sense, make decisions for yourself on those items. But what really got me, the fact that we're opening up a Japanese Chocobo bundle, is the fact that, well, the release of this was one where I could not get this, and many others could not get this without buying at extreme markups, or in my case, grabbing at MSRP, a Japanese language one. And now they are available, but I really wish Wizards of the Coast could go so far as to supply local game stores with enough product to meet demand. And I do sound like I've got a tinfoil hat on, but I don't think they want to. I think that when you can't get a hold of a product like this and you pay $200 for a $109 MSRP product, I think they like it. I think it drives up the price of the unique cards, which is good for them. I think it creates a lot of hype and discussion, which is good for them. And I think they like, much like with Secret Layers, that artificial scarcity. I'm sponsored by Micro Center, and Micro Center, should I guess on these? I'm not going to guess because I want to talk. So I'll do my one guess here. Let's say $5. But beyond that, I will not be guessing because I want to talk about, Micro Center, not an ad for Micro Center, but they do have a commitment that they won't charge above MSRP. They oftentimes have items available for less than MSRP, but they will not charge above MSRP. We talked about that in our product guide, which again, I really encourage you to watch. There was not a lot of interest in it for some reason, and we really put a lot of effort into talking about kind of a cliff notes on products, some of the more rare products as well. And we talked about Micro Center offering all of its Magic products never above MSRP as a commitment, even when it's things like Final Fantasy collector boosters, which is amazing. But then we had things like, and there was this Reddit post that showed all of this product of Chocobo bundles at Micro Center. Everyone's saying it's MSRP there. And this is this really interesting thing because local game stores were replying and chiming in and saying we were sent 4 boxes, 5 boxes, 7 boxes, even 12 boxes for the large stores. And it's like, that's nothing. How many customers do you think that you have at even a average, not even a large in a populous area, but average local game store, and you get 5 boxes of the Chocobo bundle? And then during a period where right when it arrives, it's selling everywhere except, I guess, Micro Center for double the price. And usually you're getting booster boxes at the same price. Most local game stores, I don't know how many people are aware of this, they are paying very close to what Amazon sells product for, which means that they're just almost forced to mark up a lot of things. And I am against markups, but I'm for local game stores, so long as the local game store is being reasonable. If it's being unreasonable, and it gets to this point of, how do you determine that? And I think this is my thoughts. I think it's a good thing that Micro Center, and yeah, they sponsor me, but I think it's a good thing. And even I always say don't shop at Target and Walmart. And I get that Micro Center, you could maybe look at it and almost say, well, how is it different? I'd argue it is different. It's very different. But like, I am for things being sold at MSRP. I really am. The problem is I think Wizards of the Coast has MSRP for thee, but not for thee. If that makes any sense, meaning that I think that they make a really good deal with places other than local game stores, because they must be making a profit. I don't know this. This is, again, I hate to sound like tinfoil hat, but surely there's profit for these places that are able to offer the bundle at MSRP, but then they send 4 copies, 5 copies to a local game store. They should, if anything, be giving a better deal to local game stores than to larger outlets. Local game stores are so important and so critical to the success of this game that they should be giving it to them at a better deal, but they should also be finding ways to enforce that they only offer it in store and at MSRP. And I know that's really tricky, and there's a lot to it. But I do know that other games are able to have ways of enforcing MSRP, or I believe it's within a certain percentage, within a certain amount of time of release. And you're never going to get it perfect. But I do think that the general idea that the general idea should be a local game store is profiting off of selling product at MSRP, and it's getting enough for its customers. And in terms of local game stores that are overcharging for items and marking items up, that's where Micro Center and, yeah, even Target and Walmart offering at MSRP does come in handy because it's available there. If anything, I hate that I see markups on Amazon, which is Wizards of the Coast should be able to throw its weight around on Amazon and say, this is us selling here, and we're going to ensure it's available at MSRP. And that means that a store having a markup, there should never be a reason there. And I don't know. Again, it comes down to the point of it's not necessarily up to me to be able to provide the perfect system on how Wizards could enforce MSRP, but I do think it's fair to say I think it's possible, and I think that especially given their size and power, they could probably figure out a better system than this. I think they could figure out a better system than local game stores having to buy product like booster boxes for, in most cases, very similar to what you or I would pay on Amazon. As that's crazy. I think they could figure out a system where local game stores are actually getting boxes in such a way that if they sell it for that amount that it's going for on Amazon, whatever that amount may be, they are actually making a much better profit so that they can keep their staff employed, so that they can keep the lights on, so that they can keep hosting events, teaching new people this game, spreading and acting as ambassadors of this game. We did our video about how Commander is not a great way to learn how to play Magic, just going over to your friend's house where 3 people are playing Commander, but actually how a lot of people learn Magic is going into the local game store, getting things like sample packs or maybe a starter kit. And again, the role of that local game store is so important that, yeah, Wizards should make them a sweetheart deal. And then they should figure out how to enforce it so that it's not just some corrupt system. And yeah, maybe there are going to be some stores that outsmart them and do things like flip product and whatever out of that system, but it should be something we strive for, is what I believe. I'm realizing these are all in Japanese. It might be hard on my editor. Maybe what we should do is compare to the gift bundle. Now, the gift bundle came out earlier this year. Isn't that amazing that they've done 2 Final Fantasy premium bundles in the course of 1 year? This had the MSRP of $109, but was selling for a lot more when it came out. And then this had its MSRP of only $89, when it came out. This had, instead of that little lottery ticket pack, an actual collector booster box in it. So let's take a look. And I'm also, because this is in English. So I just feel that at the end of the day, there's too much anger and ire. I'm angry at my local game store for marking up the Chocobo bundle. And I can see that. But what about when your local game store got 5 of them and it has 50 customers and it's selling everywhere online for $200, and this is the one time they got those 5 of them for, I don't know what they paid. Let me know in the comments if you are an owner or manager of a local game store and what your cut on this is. I know it's low. To sell this at $109 at a local game store is not to make a lot of money, and it's, you know, that one item where it's like, well, if someone's going to walk in and pay that, that helps me keep the lights on. I'm not excusing it, but I'm saying the ire should be at Wizards of the Coast for being the ones who sent them 5 when they would have liked 50 instead, as many people were commenting. I just feel that that's where it should go. Okay, this box is much more badass art, and inside of it, what you received was similar. You got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 play booster packs. You got the actual spin down, a glittery spin down, collector booster pack. And then you got in your land pack also a promo. I believe it is a fixed promo. Tell me, editor, yes or no, was this a fixed promo in here? Or was there a chance at a different one? I think it was fixed. But there's no lottery cards, unless I am not remembering correctly. It was a little bit ago. Oh! Maybe it was lottery cards. Oh my gosh! Did the editor just say no to me? Absolute Virtue in foil and stretchy art. And Tala, the Great Sage, also foil stretchy art. All right, I'm going to guess... Ooh, what is this? $7.50, $9. Probably very far off. I've not been keeping up on Final Fantasy prices because there's been 800 sets since then. And it's weird how they divide up. I wish that the lands were in a singular pack. I wish they just decided foil or non-foil. They're trying to please everybody because some people are like, I don't want foils, and other people are like, I do want foils. But again, I wish they would just fix foils, which they actually have improved in many cases, but not all foil quality. All right. Let's open up this collector booster box, and I will guess the prices. Maybe we'll get the golden Chocobo, with the final comment being that the onus really should be on Wizards of the Coast. The ire should be on them. And if you see your local game store marking up product, it's tricky because there are game stores that do this in a way where they should not be doing it. It isn't a universal truth when I say at the end of a video, when it is possible, when it is reasonable to do so, support your local game store, but not necessarily blindly. I think Wizards could do more to make it much more profitable at local game stores for selling sealed product. And more than anything, they should make it much more available because you should want people to buy the product. It's crazy that you're here being like, I want perhaps the Chocobo bundle. I want it when it comes out and not being able to get it. All right, let's do some guesswork here. We've got a Buster Sword in foil in this kick-ass art. Show me. $40. We've got Noctis Lucius Calciums. Kenrith, the Returned King. Great Commander. I don't like this art style. It seems to be one they consistently use. Yes, it's better than an actual low-res screenshot, but I do find it hard to read. I'm going to say $10. Ooh. Full art Sephiroth, if you did not see my awesome Game Nights Live episode from Vegas, follow that link, check that out. I had a really amazing play with this card, and for that reason alone, I'm gonna say show me $30. Ultimate Magic Meteor, $2. Oh, and I said it at the time, I think that's some of the most beautiful art in the set. Show me $8. The Fire Crystal, maybe $4.95. All right, and then the Full Art Land. And then here we go. You can show the prices, editor, as we go out. There's the correlation. Not too much. Final Fantasy was a great set. I wish we had had longer to really digest and enjoy it. And I wish that Edge of Eternities hadn't been preempted by Spider-Man previews, but that is another video, or it was a video I already made. In the meantime, show me that total value of this one pack. Should I guess it? I said like 40, 30. Was this like a $75 pack? Show me $75? Final conclusion, despite the ever-increasing MSRP, a Chocobo gift bundle is worth it to buy, and it's a pretty amazing collection of potential value. However, it is only true if you pay MSRP, and you should never ever pay markups for a product like this, because at that point, you are losing any value actually in the box and just doing the equivalent of buying the parts individually, which at that point, just buy the cards you want for the decks you want to play. And remember, Archidekt is the best website on the internet for keeping up to date with your Magic collection, from your own cards and decks to those of your entire playgroup. It's an intuitive and powerful deck building platform, and best of all, it's completely free. You can not only make and share deck lists on Archidekt, but you can playtest. This way you can get an idea about how a deck pilots before you buy those pricey singles for it. Great for checking out deck lists from gameplay shows like Shuffle Up and Play to see what your hands might be. So whether you just want a simple catalog of all your Magic the Gathering decks, or you want that more in-depth and powerful deck building experience, just go to archidekt.com/Tolarian to create your Archidekt account today for free. Thank you, Archidekt, for sponsoring this video.
Next time on Shuffle Up and Play.
Welcome to Shuffle Up and Play. Today, Mystery Booster 2, but we will each be building a commander deck from the contents.
It's a huge set. I'm trying to remember how many cards are in it.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with the garbage, by the way, so I've just been
Sure.
chucking it behind me.
Our highly skilled editors will love picking up Vox's garbage.
Pick it up! I'm gonna pick it up!
Play a Forest and a Mox Poison.
Oh! How did Fast Mana get into this?
Josh made the saddest face. Look at that! How am I supposed to? I hate you for 7. Untap.
Yes, you will.
Thank you so much
It
for
resolves.
allowing. I will
resolves.
draw. Okay.
It resolves.
Thanks so much.
You haven't said how's it once. You said hello in your intro.
How's it? How's it? How's it? Now you got it. Editors,
All
you're
right.
good? Okay.
Yeah.